It is important to note that Pogo is a national threat. The statement a while ago says that you are already allowed. Why do you need this executive order number 13? It should be illegal and should be curtailed. Because you are saying it needs clarification. A while ago you were saying it does not need clarification.
Question lang doon sa question ni Congressman Marcoleta sa PAGCOR. I just would like to ask, yung PAGCOR, yung NBI, yung PDEA, yung Philippine National Police, kung sila nagkaroon ng command conference pagkatapos sabihin ng Pangulo na ihinto na ang PAGCOR, ihinto na ang POGO. Yun ang gusto mong itanong.
We will just ask the agencies concerned for the reply later, Congressman Abante, after we finish all the listed in the sheet. If that would be all right with you, Chair Abante. Now we proceed with Congressman Lordan Suwan. You are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. May I direct my questions to PAGCOR? Ma'am, Republic Act 9160 or the Anti-Money Laundering Act of 2001, as amended, has added casinos, including internet and ship-based casinos, to the coverage of the Act. In line with this, the PAGCOR Anti-Money Laundering Supervision and Enforcement Division was created, or the PASED, to set out and enforce effective anti-money laundering and countering of the financing of terrorism. Now, one of the things that PASED does is to conduct on-site inspections and off-site examinations. May I ask if these inspections or examinations are still being conducted or were ever conducted as regards POGOs?
Mr. Chair, yes, the PASED po conducts on-site inspections po to the internet gaming licensees po.
So if they conducted examinations or inspections on POGO operations, how frequently were they conducted?
Mr. Chair, I'm not really familiar po kung gaano ka-frequent po nila ito ginagawa, but we can submit po reports on the result of the on-site checks conducted by the PASED po.
Yes. Can you also include the manner in which such examinations were conducted, how often, and the time when these inspections were started in our country?
Will do po.
On another note, on pages 35 to 40 of PAGCOR's Citizens Charter Handbook, there is a checklist of requirements which must be complied with by applicants in order for them to be granted an internet gaming license. And one of these requirements is the result of evaluation conducted by an accredited probity checker. An accredited probity checker of the OGLD, or Offshore Gaming Licensing Department of the PAGCOR. Now, according to the Internet Gaming Definitions Regulations of PAGCOR, a probity checker is an entity who is responsible for the verification of the identity of applicants and to include all officials of the corporate applicant, their finances, their integrity, competency, and criminal associations. May we know who these checkers are, these probity checkers?
Right now, sir, we have two probity checkers duly published in our website. It's the Pacific Strategies and Assessments Company and the Filipino Incorporated po.
So, do you have a list of which probity checker or checkers were assigned to what particular POGO?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you please furnish us a list of the identities of these probity checkers and what POGO they were assigned to?
Will do po.
Thank you. And my last question, Mr. Chair. So one of the requirements for foreign nationals to be granted an offshore gaming employment license is a clearance from the National Police. So what steps or mechanisms were being used by the Philippine National Police to ensure that the applicant has no criminal record in their country of origin? May I actually address this to the PNP? So my question was, one of the requirements of foreign nationals to be granted an offshore gaming employment license is a clearance from the National Police. So what steps were taken in order to make sure that these people were not criminals in their country of origin?
PNP?
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Your Honors. I'm Police Brigadier General Nicolas Salvador, the Acting Director for Operations. After taking to your questions, Your Honor, the PNP doesn't have the mandate with respect to requiring foreign nationals, especially with respect to national police clearance. And I believe that is the mandate that will come from the Bureau of Immigration, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you for that clarification, sir. I'm done.
Thank you, Congressman Suwan. The next to interpolate is our Deputy Speaker, Antonio Tonipet Albano. You are
Thank you,
recognized.
Mr. Chair. It is important a national threat to the Philippine economy, and therefore POGO is a national threat to our national security. Let me state that the Congress right now, you can see most of the red leaders of almost 100 leaders of Congress here because we want to know for sure whether or not we can defeat this kind of criminality that is in our country. Is elucidating what the threat is to our Philippine economy. Secretary Ralph Recto and DBM Secretary Mina has said that our second quarter growth is 6.5%, that the economic gains only is very minuscule with POGO, with 0.05 contribution to our GDP, which is nothing compared to the horrible impact and corruptible consequences of these criminalities such as POGOs having been linked to crimes of human trafficking, money laundering, tax evasion, etc., and it hurts our Philippine economic rating. And now I'd like to direct my question to the Anti-Money Laundering Council, who is represented here.
Amlak?
Amlak, please identify yourself.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Chair. I'm Attorney Eranio Dumale, Deputy Director for our Financial Crimes Investigation Group.
Attorney Dumale, is it true that because of this POGO, we are now under the watch of the international credit rating community and we could be blacklisted if this goes on?
Mr. Chair, the matter regarding POGOs and...
Can you speak louder because there's an echo?
yes, sir, Mr. Chair, it's among the matters that are being monitored by the Financial Action Task Force. It's included in among our action plan items, Mr. Chair.
And what is our status of our credit rating now?
I have no
Does this
idea.
affect our, of course, economic security when AMLAC and the world is looking into the anti-money laundering activities that are happening in the Philippines due to POGO?
Mr. Chair, with respect to that monitoring by the Financial Action Task Force, we have already reduced from 18 to 3 our remaining action plan items, Mr. Chair.
And have we answered at least, have you explained to the international community that we are doing something about it so that we cannot be blacklisted?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we are making progress in our mutual evaluation. We are making progress on that, Mr. Chair, and we are reporting on a regular basis to the Financial Action Task Force, Mr. Chair.
The Philippine economy is threatened because illicit money funds lead to asset bubbles. And this results to market distortions. Example, yung real estate po natin sa Pilipinas ay tumataas at yung mga legitimate business cannot compete with the higher cost ng availability of offices and space rentals and the likes. Now let me go to the Philippine Gaming Corporation, Attorney Fernandez.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it true that what Congressman Dante Marcoleta has been saying, that it is legal for you to have the numbers game, and that is the reason for President Duterte issuing Executive Order number 13 that allowed you to create POGO?
Sir, the Executive Order number 13 is a clarification of the jurisdiction of the gaming authorities that are allowed to issue licenses po for offshore gaming.
If your statement a while ago says that you are already allowed, why do you need this executive order number 13?
Mr. Chair, the EO is a clarification of the jurisdiction. It states there, sinasabi po dito, na kapag hindi po malinaw yung jurisdiction ng mga licensing authorities, nakakaapekto po ito sa proper regulation ng gambling sa Pilipinas po.
Then with your May statement, you are admitting to this body that the illegal pogos within your jurisdiction or not within your jurisdiction is false and should be illegal and should be curtailed. Because you are saying it needs clarification. A while ago you were saying it does not need clarification because RA 947 already allows you for that. What can you say?
Sir, RA 9487 allows PAGCOR to issue all licenses, and then the EO 13 clarifies po the jurisdiction of PAGCOR, CEZA, AFAB, and APECO in the issuance of these licenses.
But the executive order cannot supersede the law. That is why there is a separation of our duties. It is only Congress who can allow that and not a mere executive order. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that's why I told you, with your statement right now, you are saying that EO 13 is illegal and this should be the basis for you to stop Pogo as soon as possible, even with the legal Pogos that are actually winding up until December. Thank you very much for that clarification. And I would like to say also that the Pogos have hurt Region 2 because of the CEZA. CEZA is the only one allowed in Congress as a law to create legal numbers games and electronic gaming. And that's why that EO 13 was issued. May I now ask you, is the EO 13 now been cancelled in Malacanang as per the statement that from now on PBBM says in July 22 that Pogos are banned?
Sir, I don't have sufficient knowledge po kung kanselado na po yung EO 13 po by that pronouncement, sir. I cannot answer po.
All right, but motu proprio, Mr. Chair, we can see that since her statement is saying that it is illegal, it is non-existent in itself.
If I may, Mr. Congressman, I think I could not declare something illegal. So it would be in the proper forum or in the proper courts po that could declare the executive order illegal.
Well, nonetheless, you've already explained that it is illegal. Third, fourth, itong majority na criminal activities natin, Mr. Chair, associated to Pogos have been traced to organized criminal syndicates, often involving foreign nationals and Filipino nationals, particularly Chinese. Mr. Chair, may this representation be allowed to ask the Chair himself, all these people from Catherine Casarandoong, Dennis Cunanan, all these individuals linked to Pogo corporations, mukhang pare-pareho ba ho lahat sila?
Well, if you wish to solicit the reply of the chair, Deputy Speaker Albano, yes, they are all connected to Pogos, both in Banban and in Porac, Pampanga. Deputy Speaker Albano, and you have, please wrap up, you have 1 more minute left.
Yes, and this is therefore what I'm saying. Since this is a threat and we already know these people, may we ask this committee to empower itself and ask for a watch list from the Bureau of Immigration, if someone is here from the Bureau of Immigration, to see whether or not these people are here, especially that they did not attend and we are issuing a show cause order, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Your Honor, that's the reason why the committee has invited all these personalities, not just to shed light, but to for the committee to be able to ferret out the truth as far as their involvement in the crimes that was listed under the operation. Your Honor,
ang mga authorities, Mr. Chair. Do you have that figure? Siguro, Mr. Chair, ang makakasagot nito ay PAGCOR din ba? Or ano? Meron Meron ba kayong data kung kailan kayo, kung ilan at when did you start taking action on POGOs with alleged illegal activities?
Madam Senator, nagsimula po kami, sorry, Madam Congressman, nagsimula po kaming makipag-ugnayan po sa mga authorities po natin ng pagdating po ng bagong administration natin ng September 2022, kung saan una po doon is nung nagkakaroon na po ng mga reports ng kidnapping, illegal detention sa iba't ibang lugar po, nagkaroon po at nagpatawag po agad ang PAGCOR ng isang meeting para po nandoon yung mga law enforcement agencies natin and mga licensees natin para po simulan yung changes dun sa mga at ano po, bigyan sila ng warning na hindi po dapat nagkakaroon ng ganitong mga activities. But with regard po sa number of raid operations, sa tingin ko po PAOK can best or can accurately give po the numbers of operations.
Yes, Mr. Chair, we would like to know from the PNP siguro kasi sila naman nakailan na po ba na POGO, no? Mga raids, no? In different parts of the country kung meron na. Tapos ilan siguro i-connect ko na, no, yung pinaka-frequent na illegal activity na ginagawa and which basically involves women, mga kababaihan po. Yun po yung gusto naming malaman dun sa mga raids na ginawa, ilan ang mga kababaihan na involved. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chair, Your Honors, for the PNP, based on our record, since January 2016 to July 31, 2024, we have recorded a total of 152 cases. These are all POGO-related incidents, Your Honor. Now,
Mr. Chair,
with
this 150 cases,
152 cases, Your Honor.
152 cases, Mr. Chair, ito ba ay raids lahat or different different cases?
Raids, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr.
Now
Chair,
to the offenses, Your Honor. We have the following. For kidnap for ransom, we have 43. Kidnapping and serious anti-trafficking in persons, we have 18. Kidnapping and serious illegal detention, we have 18. The Access Devices Regulation Act of 1998, we have 14. Robbery cases, we have 6. Illegal detention, 5. Slight illegal detention, we have 5. Violation of our Republic Act 9165, we have 3. Violation on investment scam, we have 3. Qualified theft, we have 3. Swindling, estafa, and theft cases. We have consummated slight physical injuries and maltreatment. We have grave coercions. Now these are incidental cases, Your Honor. Frustrated homicide, frustrated life coercions. We have consummated unjust fixations, grave coercions, Your Honor. That's so far, Your Honor, those are the cases, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, sa list po ninyo, alin ang pinaka-frequent? Ano yung pinaka-madalas? No? Yung 43, ano yun? Anong case yun?
Kidnapping for ransom and the anti-human trafficking in persons, Your Honor.
Anti-Human Trafficking in Persons Act. So, mostly po, may mga kababaihan dyan. So, ilan po yung total ng mga biktima ng sex trafficking? Batay sa raid ninyo, sa 152 cases lang, Mr. Chair.
I don't have the further breakdown, Your Honor, but we will check and we will submit this list, Your Honor. Thank you.
Is it 100, 1,000? Gaano po karami?
tulad po na nabanggit po namin, wala po kaming breakdown ng cases when we talk about sexual violence. But we will just check, Your Honor, and we will submit you the data.
So, Mr. Chair, kailangan natin nung breakdown nito kasi yung gravity, no, ng ginagawa, lalong-lalo na kung human trafficking ang mga cases nito, sex trafficking ang mga cases nito, kailangan malaman po natin yon. Kasi yun yung sinasabi natin na ang tindi talaga ng social cost sa atin nitong POGO, no? Now, I would like to ask, meron bang mga kinasuhan na particular sa sex trafficking at ano na ang mga status nito, Mr. Chair?
As I have mentioned, Your Honor, we do not have the specific status of cases, but if you would allow us to submit this later on, we will just check with the Directorate for Investigation, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, as simple as bilang ang tinatanong natin. Ngayon, hindi pa po ako nagtatanong, Mr. Chair, kung ano na ang ginagawa after ng POGO raids. Kasi definitely, kailangan po niyan ng processing sa trauma, lalo na ng mga kababaihan. Now, what is the authorities doing right now para doon sa mga, lalo na dito sa 152 cases na sinasabi ninyo, may psychological relief ba sila? Anong mga legal measures ang ginagawa ngayon para sila ay matulungan, lalong-lalo na yung mga kababaihan na may mga cases ng ganito. Kasi alam niyo naman po yun, di biro ang mga cases ng rape, sex trafficking, human trafficking, torture, etc. Ano na po ang measures na ginagawa ngayon kaugnay dyan? Hindi po pwedeng magsabi lang tayo na no, i-ban natin, kundi kailangan i-secure din natin yung safety at saka yung pangangailangan ng mga victims na ito, Mr. Chair. Ano po yung program ngayon na ginagawa, specific ng government, para doon sa mga biktima, lalong-lalo na ng sex trafficking, human trafficking, etc. No? Masasabi niyo po ba sa akin kung ilan ang may kaso ngayon on sex trafficking dyan?
Your Honors, we can only speak for the law enforcement, but as to the programs that you were mentioning, normally when we talk about raids, it is a joint or composite operations, and normally we have the Women's and Children Protection Center that are included in the units, and they believe they have all the necessary measures with respect to coordination to the appropriate agencies, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr.
Please
Chair,
wrap up.
pasubmit na lang yan.
Last question.
Yes, Mr. Chair, pasubmit po tayo dahil sa law enforcement, sila naman yon. Pero Mr. Chair, sana masagot ako, ano yung mga programa ngayon na ginagawa para doon sa mga ni-raid na POGO, tapos may mga kababaihan na involved, ano na ang programa ng gobyerno dito, Mr. Chair? That's the last of my question, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Ano na ang programs na ginagawa para dito?
Well, to whom the question was addressed, Congresswoman Broses?
Mr. Chair, nandito naman ang NBI, PNP, PAGCOR. Siguro, masasagot nila tayo. Sino pa ba ang involved dito?
Well, I believe that there was a task force created for this purpose to address the concerns related to the criminalities inside a POGO hub. And I believe the Philippine National Police and the members of the task force will be asked by the committee later on to submit with respect to addressing the criminalities related to POGO, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, kasi yung post-trauma, importante natin na-address yan eh. At the same time, nagkakaroon ng tuloy-tuloy or continuing yung mga POGO raids, dito madami yung mga victims mo. Kailangan meron ka talagang program para doon. At kung law enforcement lang ang gagawin, it will not be enough, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Congresswoman Brosas. Before we proceed, let me acknowledge members who have attended this committee hearing: Honorable Dean Asistio, Honorable Howard Ginto, Honorable Janet Garin, Honorable Ernesto Junicio, Honorable Jude Asidre. Welcome to the committee. And